attitude is like amazing. They're happy to come to work, and they know they're there to provide value. And so that's exactly what I'm looking for. Someone who's happy to be there, wants to provide value, and we're able to grow together because of that. Hit everything I've wanted in terms of being our core values.
Right.
It's interesting because you have people that are thousands of miles away, and then we have employees that are local. We want to do good for our clients, and we want to exceed expectations. And so we do the things together to help create that culture.
Today I'm here with Ari Witkes. Ari is a collections attorney in Ohio, and I'm lucky enough to have a few minutes to spend with you today. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's get into it. I mean, Ari, obviously, you know, we've been working together for a couple of years now. You're obviously pretty successful at what you do, but I feel like when you called us 2 years ago, you were having some efficiency problems within the firm, and you said, you know, maybe this can be a solution for us, and you know, let's kind of see where it goes, kind of thing. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about, you know, your firm and where you were at when you first contacted us.
Yeah, so I started a collection law practice 6 years ago. You know, as you know, halfway through, I'm trying to break through that growth, that growth ceiling. And, you know, I had a couple people with me, but to absorb a lot more files and more clients, that was like, it seemed impossible. So we had spoken, you told me what you can do. I took on, a couple employees. I like that they're part of my team. They're not virtual assistants. They're really part of my team. Like they create the culture that we have. And, since I've had them, I've doubled and tripled and been able to absorb a lot more clients. And it's been amazing. It's been a total game changer in my business. It'd be impossible to be where I am right now and have taken on the amount that I've taken on without these extra team members.
Wow, that's amazing. So, obviously, people have questions about, who are these people? What do they do? This, that, and the other. You mentioned we've been able to double, triple your business, which, I think is pretty amazing. Maybe just speak broadly to what exactly we're able to implement them into, which was able to help you grow the business.
Yeah, so the way it works with collections is we'll have clients or creditors that will turn over files to us. It could be creditor A is owed money by, debtor B. And so it's a very high volume practice. They're sending tons and tons of files, and to absorb them and to work them properly and to give them the attention they need, it takes a lot of, energy and manpower. Right. So what they do is they really carry a lot of the practice forward, and they're doing things that anything outside the scope of an attorney. So if they're helping with answering phones, they can set up payments, they can post payments, they can, they can speak to some consumers, they can call courts, they're checking dockets. They're doing a lot of because it's high volume and there's so much that needs attention to, they're able to really help us with, all those things that are non-attorney things and really, get the files organized. And then they lay it up for me. I mean, they're setting my calendar up, and now I can do the things that I need to do to, collect the money and do good for our clients. So, yeah, I mean, they've been really able to take a lot of the burden off of me.
And that's, one of the things I think, what we're doing is, I think, trying to show, whether it be law firms or really any industry, that, there are other ways to do things. There's not one way to slice the cat. And I think, whether it be, people in the Philippines have been doing this for a long time. They go to the same universities, same style of universities, and really just about getting people to understand the talent that they have, because they're capable of working really at any type of firm anywhere. They have the same work ethic and talent as anywhere else.
I would just say that from my experience, the people that I've had have an even better work ethic than what I've been able to source. And like you said, I mean, we're talking about really educated people who have a lot of good experience in sometimes in corporate, and they're looking for a different opportunity where they can stay local and stay with their family. But they've had a rich experience that they then bring to the firm. And there's work ethic, but there's also attitude. Their attitude is amazing. They're happy to come to work, and they know they're there to provide value. And so that's exactly what I'm looking for. Someone who's happy to be there, wants to provide value, and we're able to grow together because of that. So they've absolutely hit everything I've wanted in terms of being just the right fits in my culture. It fits our core values.
Right. So, I mean, you talk about culture, and that really leads me into my next question. Obviously, culture is important, to the success of a company, of a basketball team, of really anything. You need a good group that's all on the same page to do the same thing. And one of the cool things that you've been able to do is create this culture where everybody is really a family without having actually even met each other, and going into the office today. And so how would you say that you have been able to build that culture with them? Because again, we can do our part in finding the right people and making sure they're qualified and making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But there's always that extra kind of element that you can't describe. That's the
Sure.
culture and the feel, and you've been able to kind of make it a seamless culture without ever actually having met them.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you have people that are thousands of miles away, and then we have employees that are local. I just ask you, right, what makes the team good? And any team that's good, you can't have a team without practice.
Right.
And so that's it. So we practice, we work together, and we'll do monthly meetings, and we'll talk to each other, and we get everyone on the same page and everyone aligned. And we have core values that we want to make an impact. We want to do good for our clients, and we want to exceed expectations. And so we do the things together to help create that culture. And there's competitions, and there's tons of books and videos on how to create a good culture. But there's doing those things with your team, and not thinking about, oh, they're a virtual assistant, they're thousands of miles away, they're not part of the team. No, they're very much part of the team, and they can be as good as you want them to be, because they're as qualified as anyone. So, absolutely, like anyone who wants to work with Poseidon, integrate them into your team because they can do wonders for you.
One of really the main concerns that an attorney would and should have is, security and privacy. Obviously, you're dealing with very, very highly secure information that, can't get out. It shouldn't be, in the Manila front page news. And we have to make sure, obviously, we do have a security protocol in place, but, how do you feel that the security protocol has, been able to ensure, on the back end that, hey, even if, let's just say someone did make an honest mistake, we're going to still make sure that, nothing gets out, and regardless of whether they're in the office or 1,000 miles away, there's no change.
Yeah, I mean, we're extremely careful about the sensitive information that's provided to us. So we have our own internal, systems in place to make sure data isn't, going to the wrong place. But I would just say, the same issue could be, locally. We can have an employee locally that takes information that they're not supposed to.
Right.
So it's really not a difference. But we have internal procedures in place to make sure that data is handled appropriately. And sometimes it's encrypted. And I know that Poseidon also does things that will help with that and ensure that sensitive information is not taken outside of the work protocols. So we have measures in place, and it's really it doesn't concern me. I think the biggest thing is you want the right people, and that's Poseidon will provide people, just like any recruiting company. If you had locally, they'll provide people, and you got to do a good job of sizing them up and interviewing them, and if you can do that successfully and get people that you trust and build a good culture, then it's not a concern. It's just like any local employee. I mean, you have to do your best in creating those measures in place, but after that, you have good people, so they're going to do good.
Absolutely. Ari, obviously I know you're a very busy man, and I appreciate you coming in to actually film this in person. It shows a lot about you that you were willing to do that for us. So I'll only ask one final question. Obviously, we've been able to do a lot of good work in the last 2 years. I think, we both see a lot of potential in the future of where this could go, but, where do you see this going in the next 12 to 24 months, with the Poseidon VAs? And, I really don't even want to call them that, but it's really just for people to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Where do you see you and the team kind of going in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I've already located who I think is capable of, being the lead for our, Poseidon team members.
Yeah.
And
she's great.
And so, she'll help with building out that team and making sure, they're in the right place in the right seat and being able to do the things that we train them to do and holding them accountable. And, I can only look back 2 years and say we've grown X amount, double and triple, and we're going to do the same thing, if not accelerate further. And Poseidon is going to be that sort of back end office that's going to help us get there, because we have the confidence that we can absorb, take on more clients, and do good on files for our clients. I mean, they're all happy, and so we're going to do that because we have this back end. We have a good team of people that are getting the work done.
Amazing. And I want to give a shout out to the team in Manila. You guys are doing a great job. Keep up the great work. Ari, thank you so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to keeping the good times going.
Let's keep it going.
Yes, sir.